Hey guys, today I'll be manipulating an image I created 7 years ago. I was going through my archive and I saw this portrait and I thought to myself, why don't I do something different to it? So for this video, I am going to create a fake wet glass on this image and color grade it to give it a different mood from what it was when I created this portrait. Once again, you are welcome to my channel. My name is Favour Benjamin, a fashion and portrait photographer based in Lagos, Nigeria. If this is your first time on my channel, please click the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I create similar videos like this. Without further ado, let's head straight to Photoshop and give this image a different look. Photoshop, and here is the image that I shot 7 years ago, and I would want to give a different mood and a different vibe to this particular image. Now what you need for this manipulation is just a wet glass image. Any JPEG file that is having a wet glass, you can just bring it and superimpose it on this particular portrait to give it for what we want to do. Now you can get any of these from download any picture of a wet glass online, or you can as well generate one within Photoshop. So I have this image here that I generated here in Photoshop, and I'm going to be using for this practice. So if you notice, I wrote wet window glass and I generated it, and it gave me options. It gave me different options. So let's see the options. We have different options here. I gave like different vibe, but for this class I think I'll go with this one, with this particular image. So what we'll just do is drag this image to our actual document that we'll be working with, which is this one. Good. So we drag to fill the document. Immediately fills up the document. We'll press enter. Good. So we have this image here, but before we impose this, we would have to duplicate the background layer and create an image. So let's rename this blur image. Good. Now what I want to do is I want this particular image to be out of focus, so we'll apply lens blur to it. Okay, so let me just increase the radius for this and give it a considerable blur until you are satisfied with what you are seeing on your screen. So I'll increase the blur a little. So let's increase it. Okay, I think this is out of focus enough. Good. So okay, so let's click OK. Have the blood image. So we'll turn on our wet glass image. Now what I'm going to do next is to make a selection of the glass. Now I'm going to select the areas where we don't have the water droplets. So I'm going to select the areas where we don't have the water droplets and leave the areas where we have the water droplets, so we can, use it for the image. So the image is actually going to appear mostly within the areas where we don't have the water droplet. So let's make the selection. So to do that selection, we're going to go to select, color range. Good. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that this is normal and the localized color cluster is checked. Then we can start selection. So we're going to just make a selection. We're going to make a selection of the areas where we don't have the water droplets. Just select those areas where you don't have the water droplets. So once we're done, we'll just increase our fuzziness. So once we have a considerable amount, let me bring it down a little. Let's take the range down a little. Bring the fuzziness up. I'll turn it, click OK for that. So once Photoshop makes the selection, you'll select. So Photoshop have made the selection. So what I'll do next is select our image and I'll create a mask of that image using this. Now what we've done is we've actually created, the image, the blood image, and attached it to the droplet. So now I'm going to turn this on, then turn on the wet glass, change the blend mode of the wet glass to add light. So once we change it to add light, this is actually overshadowing the entire image. So we're going to bring down the opacity a bit. So I think 40 is good, or 45 is good. So this is okay. So now we have this and we have this. So we'll have the blood image. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate of the background layer, a copy of it, and take it up. Then I want some areas to be sharp, that's why. So let's name this particular image sharpness. Enter. So I'm going to make a mask, hidden mask for this one. Then I'm going to brush it over the areas I want to be in focus. Now I want this area to be in focus because this is the area closest to the camera. and also our gene area is almost on the same focal range, so I don't want it to be too much for that one. So I'm going to reduce my flow here and brush it out a bit. Pocket areas here. Good. Good. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to duplicate the blur image, take out this mask and also brush it over the areas I want to be, blurred, very, very much blurred, like the neck areas, the face areas, because I feel like I just want to increase the depth of field for those areas, edges. Good. So it looks real. And the next thing I want to do for this is to also reduce the focus on some areas of the glass, So I'm going to select the area that I want to be very much in focus and take out the area that I don't want to be in focus. So let me include this area a little bit. Good. So I'll have it on this area very properly and a little bit there. Okay, so let's make a selection. So we're going to select around this region. And just blur it out a little. So select this, make it, feather it with 20, select inverse and go to our blur. Before we do that, let's rasterize the layer so we can apply the lens blur for that. So go to our blur. For this, I'm going to reduce the blur a little. I don't want it to be too blurred out. Good. Okay, good. So I think this is okay. So it looks real. Now, we've successfully applied the wet glass to this image and create the entire perception like this image was shot through the glass. Now the next thing I want to do is actually work on the mood and the color of the picture. So for me to be able to achieve that, the first thing I want to do is to reduce the saturation of the glass image. So I want it to look like it was shot in the evening after maybe a rainy day. Those situations where you have, after the rain, you just have a little bit of sun before the sun sets again. So that's the mood I want this to have. So I think about here is okay. So I'm going to clip it because I don't want to affect the entire image. So I'm going to clip it to the glass, just the glass. So you see we'll be able to successfully reduce the color of the glass and we'll still have our subject, popping out through the glass, and this is, giving the vibe. So I'm just going to adjust the color a little bit using the channel mixer. So first I'm going to adjust the red. Good. Then I'll go to the blues. Good. Yeah. Now let's tweak the greens a little. So for this, yeah, I want to do this. darken it a bit, increase the blues, increase the green slightly. Yeah, good. So when you move the blues backward, it's actually adding, taking away blues from the image. When you move it forward, it's actually adding blues to the shadows, sorry. And when you move it forward, it's adding yellows, which is the opposite color to the highlight. So for this one, I want to take the blues down a bit. And let's just leave it here. Then we'll increase the reds. When you increase the red, it adds more cyan to the color. So this is definitely what I want to see. So let me play with it. Okay, I think this is the mood I want to see. So for this, so this is what it was and this is what it's looking now. So now I'm going to use curves. I'm going to create a point here, bring it down a little to make it a bit darker. Then I'm going to move the shadow areas up to give it this cinematic mood. Then let me increase this a bit for a bit of contrast. Yeah, good. So let's see how that looks. Yep. Yeah, it gives it this entire vibe, which I really like. Now I'm going to use levels. I'll go straight to my blues, add some blues to the shadows for me to get the vibe that I want, which is this evening cool vibe. Then a bit of yellows to the highlights. Yeah, so this is what the final look will look like. So let's see. Good. So I think I've gotten the vibe that I want for this particular image. And I've gotten the mood that I want for this particular image. So good. So this is the mood, So when I did before I applied the level, it was giving like it was in the morning. This happened in the morning because it was way more cooler, from the highlights. We have a lot of blues in the highlights, so that's why I decided to add more blues to the shadows and less blues, more yellows to the highlights. So to create that balance and make it look more like it's in the evening instead of it looking like it was shot in the morning, because we can have both of that situation either in the morning or in the evening. So this is looking like it's in the evening, and that's why that's what colors does. You can use colors to kind of interpret the mood and tell your audience what you want them to know about the image that you've created. So this is what we've done here. Now what I want to do, I just want to increase the clarity of this image. From here we can increase the clarity of this image, do a little bit liquefy to the image, and if you want to apply sharpening you can apply, but because this image I've had a little bit of sharpness before, I'm not going to apply sharpness to this particular image. So I'm going to make a clamp of the entire thing that we've done, and we'll name finished image. So for this finished image, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go to our camera raw filter, apply some clarity to it. So I'll make it like 30 is okay. So okay that. Good. So you see the difference, more concentrated and all. So what I'm going to do next is just liquefy the image. I can go as far as also do a little bit of dodge and burn for this, but let's liquefy the image. I just want to do a little bit of liquefying around the waist area, and maybe a neck a little bit. So for this, I'm going to be using the Warp 2. Good. I think that is okay. Just want to reduce the neck a little and you're good. Good. So once I'm done, I can just do a little bit of dodge and burn. So I'm going to create a dodge and burn layer. I'm actually just doing this using the curve, so yeah. So I'm going to do a global dodge and burn for this. So let's get our black and white, turn down this area a little. So let's use the areas, sorry, that's too much, so let's use 5 for our flow. So you brush the areas that are white, you improve the whites there. I just want to and just create that more drama, and increase the dimension of this and it becomes hyper realistic. Okay. Okay, so these are the areas I just want to touch. So let's see how it looks. Good. So let me see how it looks like in terms of final touch. Okay. Okay, so this is good. Okay, good. This is just hyper realistic right now, and yeah. So this is the final image for this particular manipulation that I wanted to show you guys. So you see what we'll be able to do at the glass and also create the mood for the picture, just to make it look different from what it was. So this we can go back and see this is what it was looking like before, and this is what it's looking like right now. Okay, thank you guys for staying with me to the end of this video. I hope you learned a thing or two from this particular video. If you like the video and you like what you've watched, please click the like button and also share a comment with us. I also want to use the opportunity to inform you of my online retouching and color grading classes that will be coming up later in this month. The link to the information to these classes is in the description of this video. You can click the link and it will take you to a page where you see every info about these upcoming online classes, where I'll be teaching you color grading and retouching. Also, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my newsletters, where I'll be sharing educative information and also give you heads up on my upcoming videos and upcoming activity. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end of this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one.